Back in April 2016, the guys over at Geeksline Publications in Paris got in touch with me to ask me for some help. You see, they had created one of the greatest Nintendo 64 books ever made, but the problem was that it was written entirely in French. They had grand ambitions of bringing the book to the rest of the world with an English language version, and were taking their idea to Kickstarter to help fund the translation into English and to also get the first print run into production. Loving anything N64 related, I instantly wanted to help where I could, and so I made a short video promoting the Kickstarter on this channel, which many of you instantly went and supported. The Kickstarter smashed through every stretch goal, being backed to over $65,000, and by the end of 2016, many of you were receiving your copies in the mail. There were some initial international shipping issues, but these seem to have been ironed out now, and you can buy the book directly from their website at the link in the description or in other book retailers like Amazon. Although I was one of the first people in the world to get my copy, I didn't want to do a video about it then because I wanted to keep the surprise for backers that I had contributed to it by writing one of the forwards. I also wanted to give back to the community and honestly just sit back and watch others upload their unboxings, talking about the book and giving it their honest opinions. I would also like to point out at this stage that this is not a sponsored video, but of course I did get a copy of the book for free as it does contain my foreword. So what is N64 Anthology, you may be asking? After all, you may have missed it the first time around, or you may be new to the channel. Essentially, N64 Anthology is a 400-page love letter to what for many of us is their favourite console of all time. This is a super high quality hardback book featuring thick glossy pages and a perfect blend of great writing and imagery. The sturdy slipcase helps to keep things nicely protected for those of you that like to keep things in minty condition, but it also services well as a nice protector should you be wishing to keep this on a coffee table, for example. The book itself is broken down into sections which chronicle pretty much everything you could ever want to know about the console. Sections include the history of the console, even from its first proposals right the way through to its demise when it was discontinued. In fact, it even goes further than this because it looks at the impact of the console on games even to this day and its spiritual successors. Every game ever released on the system from all regions has a full review in the book, and this even includes the N64 DD and a whole ton of information on unreleased or cancelled games, some of which you may have seen me cover in the N64 beta project. For ultra geeks like myself, there's entire pages on N64 advertising from across the globe, and there's also a collector's guide which you can use to keep track of your entire collection. What I also love were the developer interviews, and my personal favourite one was the in-depth interview with Martin Hollis of GoldenEye fame. He gives his candid memories of working on the console and what the actual system meant to him personally. As the book was written in French and then translated professionally into English, there are some very small grammatical mistakes or phrases which haven't quite come across when changed into English, but it's really nothing that would spoil or ruin the book for you. Above all, the book contains a lot of information. It's not really a book that you'll sit and read cover to cover in one sitting, as there's simply too much information in it. Instead, it's a book that you can pick up and enjoy and reference frequently, and maybe gather some information on a particular game you're interested in, because it even goes into minute details like sales figures. Then when you have more time, you can sit down and read the interviews, read about the history of the console, and even learn more about the rocky system's lifespan. For those of you who picked up the box art edition, you'll also get an awesome edition, which is the N64 Box Art Book. This is the separate red covered book which does nothing more than remind you of just how cool some of the box art was on the system. These are not some low resolution scans of boxes, but are instead perfectly clear and great looking shots, which will no doubt bring some memories flooding back to you. I used to spend hours holding games in my local retro gaming store, reading the boxes cover to cover and trying to decide what game to take that weekend. The attention to detail here is just as good as the actual main book itself, and they even show international cover variations, and so it's interesting to see how some box art change between different countries. But that's enough oozing about the book now, because the guys over at Geeksline were kind enough to let me give away a copy of the book for one of you watching. All you have to do is comment below either here on YouTube or on the Facebook page why you feel you should get a free copy of the book. A winner will be announced at the end of the month with a live random prize draw on the Facebook group page. The competition is international, and so no matter where in the world you are, shipping will be included. If you simply cannot wait that long, you can always go to the links in the description to buy your copy of the book today, which is also available with worldwide shipping. So thanks for watching, and until next time.